Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're going to be talking about the newly released Digimon Adventure 02, the beginning movie. I'm May, and I'm joined by the spectacular Quinn.
Hi!
And the equally stunning Chloe.
Why, hello there.
So it's been a while since we've podcast, and I had to find the words, so I'm hopefully that those words actually sounded decent from the time it came from my... Yeah, so... Yeah, it's been a while since we've podcasted because Ghost Game finished, I want to say, at the very start of this year, and it's now December.
Thereabouts.
It's been a hot minute since we've recorded.
Yeah, it really has. So I've so far so good, I think, which is
Your
good, I
girl
guess.
no longer a student? It's weird.
Yeah, so that's great news. So what else have we been up to?
Chloe's getting promoted, sort of?
Yay!
Not so much promoted, but I was, hand-selected by the head of my department to be on a new team for one of the, department goals for next year. Which sucks, because it means I'm going to leave my current team, which I quite like. We've got a real nice dynamic. And I'll have to, go through the whole, hey,
Pronouns.
I use pronouns, and none of y'all probably have ever met a trans person before. Rigmarole with a whole new team, but it'll probably be fine.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm doing a job search, so if anyone has an interest in a computer scientist with a grad degree, let Air know, I guess.
An awesome computer scientist with a grad degree.
That is true. I'm very good at my job.
Yes.
And meanwhile, I've been doing, y'all have wonderful, fantastic, exciting things that you've done since we last podcasted. Meanwhile, I read all of One Piece in 2 months.
Oh no!
That's horrifying. I knew
That's-
you'd finished it, but that's...
No,
Error, you
but the
okay?
thing is, y'all, the worst part is, it wasn't even in my native language.
Oh no, you read it in Japanese?
You read the moon runes?
I read the moon runes. I read it in Japanese rather than English because I don't know why I'm like
Honestly,
this, but
no,
read
I
all of it.
respect that. I've started trying to read, so I have an entire shelf of manga on my bookshelf that I can't read because I bought it in Japanese to, send more money to the actual author.
Now, I feel like saying manga is not specific enough. You have a shelf of Yuri that you cannot read.
Yes.
I love that so much for you.
Yes.
I love that. But yeah, meanwhile, I'm just why did, I skipped One Piece pretty hard as a kid. I was that
same.
does not look interested. That is not interesting. I don't like how the women are all just, sexy booby ladies.
That is
But,
true.
no. Oh, no. Turns out it's equal opportunity fan service, and I have no, if I had any comment on the sexualization of women, it would be just me being a hypocrite, because, damn, the men.
It does seem
Men,
like
though.
a pretty gay subtext kind of manga.
Oh, it is, I think that I've counted, one heterosexual in the whole team.
Hell yeah.
So that's, and then the live action was just, they cast a trans man to play a character, and I was just this is going to be my personality for the rest of my life.
Oh. Damn it. Sorry. Look, it's been a while since we've recorded, okay?
It's been a while, it's fine. But, so One Piece is my entire personality now, so apologies to anyone who has the displeasure of talking to me, because it's just all I talk about.
We've got the One Piece boy. We've got the Ava girl. What are you, Quinn?
Cardcaptor Sakura chick?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, gotta say, we
three
picked
genders.
some pretty gay franchises.
Yeah, those are all pretty damn gay.
I think they're all equally as gay as each other, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like an NP
Anyway,
reduction problem where they're all at least as hard as the other problems.
They're all at least as
Love
gay as
that.
each other, yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
We
I'm
get it.
doing a lot of NP
You got a
reduction.
master's in computer science. We get it.
yeah, we should now talk about anime that isn't other anime that is...
Yeah.
Okay, we should talk about Digimon, but
So-
we'll probably still also talk about Evangelion,
Yeah.
because it's Digimon.
Full
Digimon.
disclosure, I have not seen this movie.
Yeah, I saw it. I would have loved to see it a second time because it was pretty good, but there was only 2 nights that it was playing in my city.
Yeah, it played over a space of a few weeks in Australia, but I only ended up seeing it once, but I kind of wanted to see it twice, but didn't get around to it. Let's move on to the Digiscussions. Did we watch the dub or the sub?
Dub.
Quinn, because Chloe read the thing. Yeah, I watched the dub as well.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't mind whether I saw the dub or the sub. Like, it just did not like what I just booked the ticket and I was just like, it doesn't say whatever it is. I'll enjoy it.
I went with a friend and she bought dub tickets. I think mostly because that worked out for our schedule. And yeah, either would have been fine.
Yeah.
There is some nostalgia for the Digimon dub. Although the lack of Warmmon...
Yeah, that's absolutely, like, why I was
Warmmon
happy to see the dub. Like,
actor.
that's...
Because he doesn't talk like this, Ken.
I think Armadillomon's voice actor also was very different.
That's true, but I didn't care as much.
Yeah, because he didn't talk.
Right.
Or he said, like, one line, like a two...
Because who cares
about
that loser?
Yeah, Iori and Armadillomon barely were in this movie.
The things that I didn't like about the dub, however, is that they called Heightened View Terrace Hikari ga Oka, which was weird because, I mean, I know that's what it is in the original, and I know that's the real place, but the dub has never had Hikari ga Oka. They've only had Heightened View Terrace. So it was weird that they didn't keep that.
I respect it when dubs don't try to localize everything, though.
I get it, but it's a weird decision to make 25 years in.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
So, and I genuinely don't know, when was the last, this was a 02 thing? When was the last 02, like, media?
2001?
2002?
So
2001,
20 years have passed. I think they're allowed to change their mind about how they do some things.
No, but I feel like Try in the dub mentioned Heightened View Terrace is Heightened View Terrace.
I think you're right. They definitely got a different writer for the dub, because I know it wasn't Nimoy anymore.
No, the thing is that, yeah, they called it Heightened View Terrace, which... No, they didn't call it Heightened View Terrace, which surprised me. But another thing is that they changed Yolee's catchphrase to the one that she has in the original version. So she says bingo in the original version, and they also kept her saying that in the dub of this movie, rather than having her English catchphrase being perfecto.
Yeah.
So it did lose a lot of those dubisms, which I'm sure that is a positive for some people.
I didn't
because
care
some
about
people
that
hate
part.
the dubisms.
But it was a little jarring, I guess.
Did they go for perfecto? Because it's like, you know, bingo is not a Japanese word, and therefore they wanted to have it not be an English word in the dub?
It's really hard to say. It was 2000, and they made weird decisions.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The aughts were a wild time.
They sure were.
Yeah, so I had wanted to see, like, I wanted to see if I could get another session to watch the sub as well, but I'm judging by just those, you know, removal of dubisms, I'm fairly certain that they would have been fairly similar in terms of movies. But I would have to watch it to really know for sure. But judging by those, I would be surprised if there were many changes between the two.
Fair.
Nothing significant that I'm aware of, but I admit I didn't look closely.
What were our highlights for this movie?
I read a synopsis, and it seems pretty Ava.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially Mega Ukomon, or Big Ukomon, or whatever it's called. Which was, by the way, like, I am literally the worst person in the world. Because Big Ukomon came out, and I was just like...
Good for Big Ukomon.
But, no, I was like... no, I was like, I just was like, hey, that's some good bottom growth right there. Proud of him.
That's so much worse than I was expecting.
No, that's incredible. I love that.
No, because it just looked exactly like I should call him, like, well done. How long have you been on tea? Oh, come on. Like,
Yeah, you got any, like, tips, what to expect, etc.?
Yeah, like proud of his bottom growth, I guess. But no, I'm so sorry. This is meant to be an all ages podcast. It's a science thing, technically.
It is.
But I was just sitting there going, oh my gosh, that is the
Now, when you
most
say
yonic
bottom, do
thing.
you mean bum or like bottom energy?
Neither.
I meant bottom as in bottom growth.
That's not helpful for me, but okay. I see. Anywho,
Well, this is an educational podcast. Anyway, Big Okamon was very Ava, and Yonic, but yeah.
Well,
what
and
are
from
the highlights that are
sorry, go ahead.
suitable for all ages?
All Also, an Ava moment was, at least from what I read, when one of the characters starts strangling their partner Digimon. It's very, it all comes tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down.
It is very Ray going, that's fine if this makes you happy.
That was the that whole scene. Or actually, a lot of them those interactions were just kind of jarring to see. The eye part.
Oh my, that was something.
I squirmed. I am not squeamish.
Certainly would have. Yeah.
Just the child abuse aspect of Louis' life. That is something that Digimon really hasn't dealt with in terms of like. We've had sort of neglectful parents. We haven't ever had just the worst parent.
That part, like, actually hit me kind of hard.
Yeah. Excuse me. Very much same.
I was just in tears at that point, and I was just like, oh, I was expecting, like, you know, the usual Digimon movie of just like, we meet a character who's been a chosen child the entire time. They have a tiny amount of trauma as a treat, but usually it's just
Mako but a guy.
Their Digimon. Yeah, maybe it's like their Digimon died and they're kind of a little bit upset about that. Oh no, this person has like real trauma, not just like, oh, my Digimon died. No, they have like the trauma that you see in the real life, not in the Digimon life. So that was not particularly what I expected, but it's kind of like as like upset as it made me. And I know I say this like, and I said this a lot in Ghost Game, and I'm the most annoying person how I keep on saying it, but art should make you feel things. And it was done in such a way where I was just like, oh, this is so good, but I'm having like more emotions than I intended on having for this movie. Like, I didn't like set aside a certain amount of like emotionalness for this. I was expecting a Digimon movie, and I got just
definitely not what I expected going in.
No, the whole like all of Louis' backstory, I just did not expect. I just expected my Digimon died in an accident and I blame myself. No, not like he actually just killed his Digimon.
Kinda.
Asterisk, maybe, or something?
It's a little unclear.
Kind of asterisk.
Especially for me
so
who
that
didn't
was...
see the movie.
But, I just... that was pretty rough, but in like... It's rough, but it's a highlight.
Yeah. I respect a piece of media that makes me like feel things on like a what's the word I'm looking for, like a instinctive level or like a visceral level. And even just reading the synopsis, I was like, oh no, I hate that, poor kid.
Yeah. No, they don't talk about Louis' mom, hitting him directly. You just see him with bruises all over.
Yeah,
it's
and like
really affecting.
Flinching when she comes out onto the patio or whatever. Like, he knows what's coming from historical experience.
Yep.
I'm just kid, no.
I think it's even more emotional the fact that you don't see the physical abuse, just the evidence of it, because it makes you like, this is you kind of already know. They don't need to necessarily show you what she's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bruises and just the flinching, it's just it is just an incredibly I was not expecting this from Digimon, and like, well done for making me like have emotions while watching a Digimon movie. It was wow.
I'm not sure if it was in the original or it was added in the dub, but the stop flirting line between Ken and Daisuke was just fantastic.
Yeah, that is my highlight, and I was kind of like I wanted to watch the sub version to see if that was still in there, but I didn't get around to it. I just really need to know if that line was in there, because it was just chef's kiss perfect.
Given how fairly faithful the rest of it was, I have to think probably.
Yeah, you're just hoping.
Yeah. Like, Yoli being the Daiken shipper was just like, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Look, she's just a beard. We all know this.
Yeah, like, I love how they've released the cards for the Digimon card game, and they've accidentally used both the lesbian flag for Yoli and Hikari's card and men loving med flag on the for the... I almost said Zoro and Sanji. What the hell?
One Piece has broken.
Daisuke and Ken.
Daisuke and Ken. To be fair, there is official art of Zoro and Sanji, and they also use that colour scheme.
Okay, and so you said accidentally. Yeah.
That was accidental. I was just like, what are their names? What are their names? Think of some names. Zoro and Sanji. No.
No. I mean, like, with
also One Piece.
Like, the color schemes on the cards, like, I could see one of them being an accident, but both of them? I don't know. At that point, I'm like, I don't know.
And,
Plus,
the
clear
Cody
people are
and-
just involved in art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, the Cody and Takaru one is, like, the non-binary flag, but without the purple. If they had added purple, that would have been, like, we would have been 3 for 3
Lovely.
Yeah.
on Pride flags. But, no, it was just, it was the non-binary flag, but without the purple. So anyway, Yoli's Daiken shipper, that was one of my highlights. Another highlight is that I'm really glad that we're not pretending that Digimon don't exist again.
Yeah, that was a weird
Like,
part of Try that shouldn't have happened.
And I feel like Kazuna did it a little bit as well. Like, there was still a little bit of, like, some people don't know about Digimon. In this movie, it was just like, whatever, we all know about Digimon, and some of us have Digimon.
Yeah, it's not super well known, but there's 60,000 of us across the globe, so it's not exactly a well-kept secret.
That's way more than I expected. So, in, like, the original series, did they, like, have points at which it became globally known about Digimon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
multiple.
So there's a couple of points in the original series, and then in 02 especially, where there's the World Tour arc, and they go around the globe as stuff gets put on the news.
Okay.
And the characters from the World Tour arc appeared in this movie, which is another one of my highlights.
And they're just kind of non-specific memory problems for everyone who saw that who didn't then get a Digimon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But now in this movie,
And-
they're like, yeah, the number of Digi-destined or chosen children, whatever, doubles every year, more or less. So now there's 60,000 of us across the globe.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was always something that was really weird about Digimon Adventure Try. Like, even though it only took place 3 years after 02, it's still that they still seem to not know what Digimon were. And there was even a line from, I think it was the chapter 1, the abridged series, where it was just like, hey man, what are you doing? Just nothing, just pretending Digimon don't exist.
No, it's
All
not
right.
knowing what
Like,
a Digimon is, and it's fantastic. The abridged
Yeah,
series
it's
of
like-
Try is pretty great.
what were our other highlights about this movie?
Yeah, the animation was largely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it looked good.
I read that it was Ava. That's
It was
about all
pretty
I've got.
Ava.
You
but
read
yeah.
that you...
Yeah, sorry, I can't contribute more on that front.
Those were my big ones
No,
that I
that's
covered.
fine. What about our lowlights? Do we have any lowlights?
In no particular order, the whole our cell phones now a Digivice thing felt really unnecessary. I'm also looking at you here, Blast Evolution. But,
Yeah.
I don't know, if you're not going to at least talk about it and tell me Koshiro made this a thing, just don't do it.
Actually, that does remind me of one last highlight. I'm sorry. The D3s, even though that they were replaced by the phones anyway, so who cares? But the D3s being like evaporated, that kind of was an emotional moment.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just purely nostalgia. I was just like, but I liked the D3 as a kid.
Oh, yeah, and that is kind of my thing. If you're going to go ahead and get rid of the Digivices and insist they're not necessary, I feel like it's a little silly to also have just made a replacement for them, and also now we can hawk our new app.
I think
no, there's an
that
app.
they should take
Probably.
they should take the phones away from these millennials. Like, I feel like that should have been like the moral of the story is that they now no longer have their phones either.
Social
Because those
media
dang
is very
millennials-
bad for your mental health, and you should uninstall it.
Yeah,
It's been very
but
good
also
for me.
no. I can't. I'm the worst. But anyway,
You're
so
also an
back on-
influencer, and I try not to judge you for that.
What's the opposite of an influencer? Someone who's bad at it. Because I'm like, all I do is I just talk about One Piece on my Digimon related social media accounts now. That's just what I do. Like, I have people following me like, hey, this person must tweet about Digimon a lot. Nope, sorry, all you're getting is One Piece thoughts for 2 straight months. Sorry about that. Anyway, my main lowlight is that the whole Ukamon and Louis claiming to be the first partnership, it kind of is some weird timing because the prequel movie
It
took
is
place
definitely
a year prior.
post first movie.
Yeah, it's post the prequel movie, but it's also the original Chosen Partnermons happened. Like, that would have happened, I want to say, the late 80s, at least.
And that's also true, yeah. Iori's dad and what have you.
I have read a few people saying that maybe they are specifically talking about the partnerships with Digimon and humans that have Digivices. or something
You
along
really
those
gotta
lines.
want it, and they didn't explain that
Yeah.
at all. But, like, I do
they
want
don't
to
explain it.
buy it for the idea that, oh, yeah, by the way, now there's 7 billion of you.
Yeah.
But even there, it feels
Like-
kind of unnecessary.
It feels weird because, we have the prequel movie, we have Iori's dad, but we also have Maki and Daigo, which all definitely happened and took place before Louis and Ukamon meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So that just felt kind of weird, and that was something that I knew would be an issue with the movie for me before I saw the movie, because that was in part of the promotional material, and I think I remember us even talking about it, like back when Ghost Game was on, when this movie first got announced, that they meet somebody who claims to be the first chosen child. And straight away I was like, this is going to be weird for me because this kid is clearly the same age as Daisuke when we have the original chosen, so Maki and Daigo and their group, where that would have happened
10
maybe
years
10
before.
years prior.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of was weird to me, and I knew that was always going to be a negative for me. However, it didn't make me not like the movie. It's
an affecting movie. It's
still
emotionally good.
Yeah.
On that note, it very much feels like a movie that could have been entirely not a Digimon movie that was kind of shoehorned into being Digimon in places.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that complaint quite a bit. Like, some people say, yeah, sure, but the Digimon feel like they feel like they had a movie, and it feels like a lot of the Ghost Game episodes, how they had an idea, and then they just put Digimon in, like, a non-Digimon related property.
Yeah. Louis is fine, but I would have liked the 02 movie to be about the 02 kids, instead of just being kind of the 02 kids reacting to someone else's movie.
I mean, that is just every adventure movie, like at least every modern adventure movie, is that we meet a kid who's had a Digimon the entire time.
Yeah,
Mako,
it's not
Maki,
great.
Manoa.
It was bad when it was Mako, and it's still bad now.
It's relatable to the kids, though, because the kids watch a lot of YouTube, and from my understanding, like 90% of YouTube is reaction videos.
That is true.
That is true.
They want to see the O2 kids react to other people's content.
Also,
love that so
YouTube is
much.
horrible, and you should stop using it.
Except if you're subscribed to LostinTranslationmon, then you should continue using it.
Nah, even then, delete your account and then just watch occasional videos.
No, because you've got to like, comment, and subscribe.
Shoot Air a few bucks on Patreon or something. If
Yeah,
you
do
really
that
want to
instead.
support
too.
the channel. Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like,
And join the
YouTube
Discord.
money is
We're a fun group, mostly.
join the Discord and find me talking about One Piece and nothing else.
That's true.
Yeah, I told you that is my personality now. But yeah, so with the Louis character being introduced, I felt like it was still better done than Manoa and Maki, because in those cases they had the exact same story.
Mhm.
And to some extent Louis does have something in common with them. Louis has a Digimon that died, but unlike Maki and unlike Manoa, Louis isn't evil because the character has a dead Digimon. Also, just remembered something. Chloe, in the Japanese version, Louis is voiced by Shinji Ikari's voice actor, as far as I know.
I knew I recognized it.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Everything that is good is somehow tied to Ava.
And there's,
Prove me
there's
wrong.
quite a bit of Ava.
do we have other
Yeah,
lowlights before we move on to just kind of a general synopsis?
Oh yeah, I have one other low light. But I just wanted to mention that while I remembered. But on to Louis, because there's one more point with the chosen children thing about him being the first. I kind of wish they just explained it away by saying like, oh, there's time shenanigans.
And there
because
were
Ukamon-
time shenanigans that they did not explain.
Like, the movie clearly had them revisit the past. So, if they just spent, like, maybe 5 seconds saying that Ukamon went back in time and managed to get the original chosen children together, Iori's dad playing the Digimon video game, and also the prequel movie, if Ukamon was present in those things, maybe Ukamon's the one that dropped Parrotmon into Heightened View Terrace all those years ago. I don't know.
That would have been
They could have just
interesting.
time shenanigans it.
But yeah,
if they just said that
something,
Ukamon-
just even including Daigo and Maki in the clips of various children around the world receiving Digimon.
Yeah, and that was weird that they showed Willis.
They sure did.
They showed they showed the chosen children from around the world. They did not show Mako or Manoa or Maki and Daigo or any of the other chosen that we've seen in those movies. But we saw Willis, so that's cool. Give that to Willis. I was expecting Ryo, even though Ryo doesn't
but so did
exist.
Willis.
Not that I've seen any of them.
Daigo and Maki sort of got movies in that Try was kind of movies.
Okay.
Yeah. But, also, I don't know why I was expecting Ryo, even though he doesn't exist
Ryo
in this
should have
universe
been in it.
anymore. But he's in Tamer's universe now, so he can't be.
Why can't he be because he's in Tamer's universe? Hold on. Do I regret asking this question?
Yes.
Yes.
So Ryo's
In
whole
short.
thing is that between Adventure and Adventure 02, he just gets involved because of video games needing to be a thing. He borrows Taichi's Digivice and leads a rebellion against evil Digimon. And then over the course of 6 games, you find out that he is important to the time-space continuum of Digimon. He meets the ABC machine and the ENIAC, who exist at all points in all universes which include a digital world, and can travel to any of them at any point in time.
Are there universes that don't include a digital world?
Probably. Like ours. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
who can
Who
say?
can say?
Who can say?
But, yeah, so if the universe has a digital world to it, Ryo can get there at any point in the timeline.
That's nifty.
And then he's not in this, because they decided after Tamers that
enough,
he
apparently.
wasn't important anymore.
Or this story wasn't important enough for him to bother with it.
That's fair. I
Who's to
maintain,
say?
though, that it is a massive missed opportunity not to give him a cameo in every single season.
Just
Yeah,
for
you're
no
not
reason. Like, I love that for him. But I think those were my lowlights.
That's fair.
And I know you mentioned you having more.
No, I think that pretty much covers mine. Just, I wanted a movie about the 02 kids instead of a movie about Louis that the 02 kids were in.
Is Louis a character that existed before this movie?
No.
No.
Okay.
I mean, apparently, according to
Technically, according to the
plot,
canon, but no.
But, like,
Yes.
not a character that had ever been seen before. Okay.
Yeah. I did think of one more highlight, but I have actually forgotten it. But so it must have been a really good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll just move on to miscellaneous thoughts then.
Digimon was nice.
My lowlight, my miscellaneous thoughts are just like, I was surprised we got no new evolutions for Paildramon.
Yeah, or anybody, really.
This is, I guess, kind of a positive, I guess, because I'm always expecting the Goggle Kid to get a new Digimon or a new Digivolution at some point, but that didn't happen. Like,
I am okay
we
with the
didn't
fact that we didn't introduce any more evolutions in this one.
oh yeah, same. But at the same time, I expected Silphymon and Shakomon to reach Mega because they have Mega forms, and
I didn't know that.
the Digimon Vital Bracelet, because it did, got a BEM set for this movie, and they featured Mega forms for them, but they did not get Mega forms in the movie.
I wouldn't have hated it, but I'm not particularly sad that they didn't.
And my last miscellaneous thought is no armor evolution in this movie.
I'm also
weird.
pretty okay with that.
Because, like, I don't know, it seems to be the main mechanic for 02, and it felt weird that they didn't just have, like, at least one armor evolution, just instead of having all the other...
They could have had the drill of knowledge so that Iori had a line.
Yeah, and I guess that's another miscellaneous thought. Iori, like, I think he had 2 lines? I don't know why.
There were a
give
few,
Iori...
but it sure wasn't many. It was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it sure
And
feels weird to still be sneaking into our middle school when we're grown-ass adults.
Yeah. And I feel like Tailmon didn't speak either.
Barely, yeah.
And I don't think Hikari or TK spoke that much as well. But I'm glad that Yoli spoke. Yoli, Queen, got some lines, so I'm
I guess a
I'm
last
happy with that. But it
miscellaneous
felt
thought,
like...
it would have
Second
been...
to last, because
Yeah.
I have one
Okay.
too.
A last one for me, I would not have objected if they'd given, like, any amount of dialogue to, yeah, sure sucks that our older compatriots lost their Digivices and maybe their Digimon.
Yeah, it was nice that we got to see what a few of them are doing. Like, we know Koshiro and Taichi are both extremely busy with what's going on, with how all these Digimon are appearing across the world and people are getting Digimon now.
And that's in,
I appreciate that.
astronaut training or something, I guess.
Yeah, it's something. Who cares, I guess.
He was in a rock band, so it makes total sense that he'll be the first man on Mars.
I mean...
That's a natural
His
career
job
path.
is being cool. What don't you get about that?
You got me there.
Yeah, and something I also just thought of, it was nice to see, or nice to hear about, was, yes, maybe you don't want everybody in the entire world to have a monster that can fire missiles out of their tits.
Yeah, maybe not everyone should just have a nuclear weapon in case they get angry.
Yeah, like...
That's the least American thing you've ever said.
That takes some effort.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty un-American American.
And, like, I mean, I guess the idea is that, like, oh, to get your Digimon to evolve, you kind of have to be a good person. But also, we've seen that not necessarily be the case, because you can have a dark evolution.
Yeah,
so
Maki, Taiko,
I'm surprised.
Taichi, rather.
And there was also, we have Digimon Survive, which all the evolutions that take place have to do with if you are, like, what kind of person you are.
I need to play Survive.
You really do.
You
It's
did
still
play
my
it a little bit,
favorite
didn't
Digimon
I
game.
have played about 10 minutes of it.
No, you played like at least a half hour, I feel like.
I'd have to check, but in any event, I
I remember
didn't do
watching
any
you
of the
play
plot.
it for a bit.
I'd have to start it over again because I don't remember most of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But, so I'm surprised that we got the, hey, why would we want everyone in the world to have a Digimon? Like, I did not expect that, but that's a good point.
There are 7 billion humans and most of them suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not expect that. I thought that Digimon existed in Perfect Land where everyone is a great person.
That has
except
historically
for
been the case, yeah.
And honestly, we have enough
Yeah.
problems feeding 7 billion humans. How are we going to feed 7 billion Digimon, too?
That's fair. I would say it's unclear that we need to
is fair.
feed Digimon, but they actually tend to eat more than humans.
Yeah. And they can eat data, I guess.
Sort of,
But
sometimes.
so that was...
They're the garbage collectors. That's what they eat.
We've made that joke before in Digimon, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, look.
Yes, we have.
I'm sorry, I work in IT. I have a miscellaneous thought, which is that y'all have ruined me, because...
Yes.
And Quinn might know the anecdote that I'm about to tell here, but in my D&D campaign, I at one point got goggles of dark vision, but for flavor, I made sure to clarify that they only work when I wear them on my forehead. They only give me dark vision when they are worn on my forehead. If I wear them over my eyes, they do not give me any special benefits.
The goggles, they do nothing.
Yeah, because
I love that so much.
Digimon has ruined me. So thanks a lot, y'all.
I forgot about that.
It was pretty funny.
I love that so much. Any other miscellaneous thoughts?
I think I'm good.
Okay, favorite character. Mine was Davis, surprisingly. Surprising everybody.
I guess I'm gonna give it to Louis.
Yeah, valid.
And Chloe didn't see the movie,
Yeah,
so
I
probably
feel like
doesn't have an opinion.
I'm not qualified to give an opinion, having not seen it. And just
feel
read a
like you would've
synopsis
said-
posted from one random person
Just
on the
say
internet.
Ukomon.
Yeah,
I would've-
Ukomon
yeah,
then,
I would
sure.
say Ukomon because of the Evangelion.
Yeah.
Oh god, the you
I-
can strangle me as much as you want is very Ray. Ukomon is basically
Yeah, that
Ray.
was...
Okay. And there's giant Ukomon, so it's just giant bottom
And they're
growth
not
Ray.
wearing clothes.
Yeah, I would definitely
sorry.
say that Ukomon... I'm trying to find the TCG card that has the... Oh, cool, I found it. So yeah, I'll send you the TCG card. Okay, I've sent you a picture of Big Ukomon
Okay.
on and that's it. So it's Evangelion, and that you can probably also understand my bottom growth comment from earlier.
Yep,
because
yep.
I'm
It's also very
giving context
Dentata.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, but yeah, I feel like you would have picked Big Ukomon because it is vaguely Ava.
Almost
That is
certainly.
pretty much an angel, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hazard a guess that you would have picked that had you seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish you, I wish you were able to.
She
Yeah.
had the opportunity but decided not to. I think that was before we decided to do an episode on it.
Oh, yeah, if I'd known that we were going to
yeah.
record about it, I probably would have,
Yeah.
but I...
My friend Emily came along and she almost came on the show but just ended up deciding not to.
Did your friend enjoy the movie?
Yes.
Oh, yet another
that's the other
miscellaneous thought.
miscellaneous thought that I really need to go
Yeah.
into is that at the showing that I went to, some parents who were Digimon fans who had a child, which is the weirdest thing, had like a 4-year-old who was in the audience who kept occasionally going, "Who is that? That was cool. I liked that. What just happened? It was fantastic.
It's very sweet.
I love that. I love that so very much.
It was fantastic, and it really added to my enjoyment of the show. Everyone who goes to see it should have a 4-year-old watching who has no idea what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Like, I've decided that the kids are just not probably in my life plan, and I've kind of at 30, that's kind of like the age I've always said I want to know. I'll know by 30, and I'm kind of like decided that kids aren't happening, but like things like that are reasons why I'm like I would like to have a kid, just because like I would like them. Yeah, like
I'm trying to talk Chloe into doing a foster parent and then potentially adoption if we meet a kid that we really have a connection to, kind of thing. It'd be nice, but you know, I'll get it if we don't end up doing that. And also, it probably won't happen until we get out of this hellhole of a country.
Yeah, definitely not while we're still living where we are. It might happen though. I'm open to it.
But like, my neighbors have a kid, and it's at like the human age where the kid starts to become a human. Mm-hmm. And it's that's such a like what like that kind of thing. I was like, but no, I've decided that no kids. But
I'd also be okay with being Aunt Quinn. But I don't have any siblings, so, it'd have to be like a neighbor's kids that we're really close to, and I can't guarantee that happens. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to foster some kids and see what happens.
That'd be nice. But so rating, my expectations were so low for this movie, so I ended up probably loving it more than it deserves, maybe, because my expectations were the floor. I was like, I did not like, I really didn't like Kazuna.
Kazuna was not very good.
I liked Kazuna.
No.
I haven't seen any of the, previous material, but I liked Kazuna.
Kazuna was weird
wait,
because
before I forget,
wanted to be different than everything else that would exist later. But please, Air.
Yeah, okay, I remembered how I said, I have another highlight, but I've forgotten it? I remembered it. Okay, they made a reference to Digimon Strikes Back, which is the movie that no one ever remembers because it's the one that isn't in the Digimon movie, and it's probably one of my favourite Digimon movies, and they mentioned it because he was watching the events with Armageddon and Impelgemon on the screen, and I was just like, yes, they referenced the movie. I'm the only person who cares. But they did it, and I was that was pretty cool. Chloe, that movie is probably the most Evangelion of the Digimon movies.
It's a pretty Eva movie, and then they remade it as its own separate movie.
It wasn't its own movie before?
Well, so the director liked the idea enough that he then made another movie with almost the same premise, but with no Digimon in it.
Oh no! It's not our war game.
That's what I'm thinking of.
This one is the Our War Game sequel, where Diaboromon comes back, and this time the 02 kids are involved.
That's right. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, I told you, it's the movie that no one else remembers except for me. That scene was just added for me. That was for my enjoyment. I was sitting there going, like, no one else in the world is as excited by this moment.
And then the 4-year-old said, what's going on? And everyone in the theater agreed.
Yeah, everyone was the 4-year-old except for me, who were just, like, shaking in my seat, like, ah! I'm the only one who likes Diaboromon Strikes Back. I like it. So that was pretty hype. Anyway, so my expectations were super low for this movie. Try was okay. I did not like Kazuna. But this movie, when I was going into it, I was like, I'm not going to like this movie. I'm going to have a million complaints, mainly because Louis is apparently the first chosen despite being not the first chosen. And that was still a lowlight, but it wasn't enough that it ruined my enjoyment of the movie. I ended up loving this movie. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It loses that 1 point because of the Louis thing, but everything else, just like from start to finish, I was having every single emotion that I probably ever experienced in my entire life in this movie. Like, there was trauma, there was more trauma, there was a yonic hellbeast, there was a lot going on. I was just sitting there going like, wow, they actually did a modern Digimon movie that had the like adventure stuff, and I didn't hate it. So 9 out of 10 because the expectations were the flaw.
I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 because A, the Louis thing, and B, wait, so all the Digivices are gone, but everybody's bonds are still there, but also sometimes when your Digivice wears out, the Digimon dies, and we're not gonna explain that difference at all. Also,
Yeah,
I
but
guess
that was-
Garurumon and Agumon come back, but we're not going to talk about it.
I don't know if they...
Gabumon. I know.
do they had? I don't think Agumon and Gabumon like appeared in this movie. So,
No, but I
you
mean they
in
will be back in the sequel
yeah.
when Yamato goes to Mars.
Yeah, I forgot about the epilogue, but then again, so do the writers.
We made a huge amount of effort into putting that the epilogue still happens.
How so?
In that Daisuke is running a ramen shop, and
Okay, but that just because he's doing the same thing does not necessarily mean that it has to. All the things have to happen.
They put a lot of effort into references to the epilogue.
I mean,
admittedly, I saw the thing almost 2 months ago, so I don't remember many of the specifics, but between that and Kizuna, they really put some effort into saying, yep, this thing that everybody kinda thought was stupid is still canon.
Yeah.
fair. I don't care enough to argue more, and I haven't seen the epilogue, so...
I might have to show you just the epilogue sometime,
Yeah,
because
please
it's
do.
really
Absolutely.
terrible.
Okay.
Look, okay, so me as a kid was super mad because Yoli was my favorite character.
And she's a f***ing housewife.
epilogue-
Excuse me, she's a damn housewife.
Yeah, but the thing is, this movie and like, well, I guess before then, a CD drama, say that she is actually working with, like, alongside Koshiro, and she's just on maternity leave. And I was like, okay, thank you, CD drama.
They
and then this
did
movie
salvage
had her
it a
mention
little,
it.
but the epilogue is
Yeah.
still bad on its own terms.
Which one's Koshi?
Yeah, it is, and also, I kind of, like, Sora's whole thing in the first season of Digimon was that she's kind of, you know, she's different. She's not a typical girly girl. She's a bit of a tomboy. She likes soccer. And then 02 had her like, oh, she's a little bit, you know, she does tennis now. It's still a sport. And the other thing about her adventure was that she was kind of rejecting her traditional mum, who was I forgot
We
the
get it,
Japanese word
she's
for it,
me.
but the flower arranging. Yeah. And she's rejecting that, and that's kind of her whole thing. But then in 02, she also goes back to being like more feminine, does the flower arranging, and then in the epilogue, she's a fashion designer, which is very different from So the epilogue has a lot of issues.
Is she a fashion designer? I thought she was just a housewife.
No, Miyako is the housewife. Sora.
Oh, sorry, I missed when we changed. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm mad about Miyako and I'm mad about Sora.
That's fair. They both got done dirty by the epilogue.
Mimi being a professional chef, but the idea that she cooks bad things is just hilarious.
That's so good.
Like, I know that
Her family,
the
she does a
epilogue
whole
was-
thing with her family where they're into just the worst recipes, but they love it because her mom made them.
Yeah, like the best idea is that because 02 was written obviously before YouTube, but the epilogue would have existed with YouTube or social media. The idea is that now that she would be just like one of those YouTubers doing like random like recreations of recipes that look terrible but are actually good is my favorite thing.
I'm into it.
But yes. So do we have any other thoughts about this movie before we wrap this up?
I still don't know what I think about Louis' inclusion in this. I feel like there was a better movie where it was just about the 02 kids coming to terms with things, but on its own terms, it was a pretty okay movie.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to watching it at such point that I can.
Yeah,
Because it sounds pretty interesting.
It is a shame that they have not put it out on disc or anything yet, so the best we could do was torrent a Spanish dub cam of it, which we did not do.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that. I don't know why, but I just really love that. But yeah, so the release, I guess, is something that I could also consider a low light, is that in America it was just 2 days. At least in Australia it got like a few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I was very lucky to even see it.
But they didn't give cards at the Australian release.
That is true. I do
Oh
have
yeah,
some
you
cards.
did get some cards, yeah.
Would you like my cards?
'Cause-
I can send them to you.
Ooh, I would very much like the cards because I saw it on the Friday it came out, the first day it came out was a Friday and it was on the Saturday and the Sunday, and then obviously it continued on for a few weeks, but I saw it on the Friday and I was like, okay, so they'll probably have cards because no one else has seen the movie yet. It's like the first showing, but no cards, no cards at all in Australia at all. Thanks for forgetting that we exist, Bandai. So yes, I would love cards. Thank you very much.
I firmly believe that the couple who brought the kid who was like, I don't know what's happening, brought the kid so that they could get extra card packs.
That's
probably
cute.
true. And
honestly,
also,
I love that.
You know, if I had a kid, I would definitely want to indoctrinate them into the cult of Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like I
that's
would
kind of what I was
definitely
meaning
make a
for.
habit of watching a yearly Neo Yokio Christmas special.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, go watch Neo Yokio.
I still have only seen 5 episodes of that. I promise that I'll.
There's only one.
I promise that I'll watch it.
Technically 2 more.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
And the
I
last
don't know
one
how
is a
I'm so
Christmas
terrible.
special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps the best
Okay, so I
Christmas
have-
special of any media
I think
to ever
okay.
exist.
I think that's why I stopped, because I was like, okay, I want to watch the Christmas special for Christmas. So that
Oh,
sounds like a
perfect
me
timing
thing to
then.
do.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's the 22nd
Yeah, that's
or
perfect timing.
whatever, so
But-
do that.
Now that I'm done with reading One Piece, I have to watch the anime, and I'm only up to episode 400 of the anime. I've got 600 to go.
Look, make 3 hours and watch Neo Yokio.
So, like, you want to know how gay I am?
Pretty
I assume
damn.
extremely.
So, yeah, very true, correct. But there's this moment that I had multiple people when I got to it say that they were waiting for me to get to, and it's just like, it is just the LGBT just hanging out, and it's called Cross Guild, and I promise that I'll give context for that at some point. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Cross Guild. I'm sorry.
And now I'm just
That-
thinking
that
of the
was- that
music
was-
going, Cross 5! In that one season of Digimon.
Yeah, the word cross
about it.
now, instead of Digimon, just is me thinking about One Piece. I've sent the picture in Discord of why it's the LGBT.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we should wrap this up before I start just talking about One Piece out of context, which
The elbow.
is kind of
Yeah.
just my brain. Alright, thank you so much for joining me, Quinn and Chloe, for the return of Lost in Translation on the Digimon podcast. Hopefully it wasn't too much of like a train wreck of like me forgetting how podcasts
It has
work.
been a hot second.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope that this was like somewhat cohesive and enjoyable to listen to.
I would still like to
again-
do Translation Moon sometime.
And
we
I would like to do
gonna-
the Card Captor Sakura one as well.
Also great.
Also that, but at such time that this gets released, and we can find it subtitled, are we going to do a recording on that as well?
I'd be open to it.
I'll
Yeah,
be able to
I-
actually
okay,
watch it at that point.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to, like, I liked this movie enough. I would be happy to watch it again. The expectations were the floor for me. I was like,
I
I'm
was
not going to like
expecting to
this.
hate it. Because Kazuma was
I'm going to watch
kind of
this
bad.
once. Yeah, and I would rather watch this again than Kazuna again, like 100%. Like this, especially I'd love to watch it in Japanese. And yeah, I want to see how y'all would feel about it, and in a few months maybe y'all opinions will change. I'm also excited to hear how Chloe would feel about actually watching it.
I would be able to make slightly more accurate Ava references.
There would be some more, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
there
pretty
would be some
Ava
more,
movie.
especially-
It could have kind of been... Oh, it almost could have been a movie about Gendo's childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep. Maybe this was just like an Evangelion movie that they found on the floor and were just like, yoink!
Now I really want to see it to know what the hell you're talking about.
Louis
Yeah,
is just
absolutely. This is
Gendo.
Yeah.
Beaten
canon.
by his mom until he decided that the best thing he could do was destroy the world to get to see his wife who never loved him again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Digimon are the champions and Digimon are the trauma.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so let's wrap this up because I feel another One Piece spiel coming on. So you can contact us and stay updated. You can leave us a comment on this episode on YouTube to join the conversation. So ignore all of our comments about how we don't like YouTube that we said earlier.
But also, you should
And
stop using YouTube because Google is pretty terrible.
Yes, but also like, comment, subscribe. Anyway, so for a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, so YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, I'm still going to call it Twitter because
It's a much better name than whatever they're calling it now.
it's a much better name. And I'm pretty sure that the Twitter Videos account is still called Twitter Videos because X Videos is already taken by something else. Anyway,
There is that.
So, that's not a joke. That is not a joke. I'm not. Last time I checked, it was still Twitter Videos, and that is like the funniest thing. It is the official Twitter Videos account. It's funny, because it's true. Like, it's not... I'm not just making a joke. That is something that's real. So, yeah. Elon says that you can dead name people, so I'm just going to dead name Twitter. So anyway, head over to the Linktree account, linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos or any of my random posts online about One Piece, I'm so sorry if you signed up to see Digimon tweets and now all you're getting is me just saying, I love Mihawk, I love Mihawk, oh my god, Sanji's abs in the live action were insane.
Also, if you're still using Twitter, I'm judging you and I want you to know that.
But where else will I talk about Sanji's abs? Anyway, so you can show your support by signing up on Patreon and get some cool rewards and help us hit milestones. And maybe you can pay me enough and I'll stop talking about One Piece, but that's probably going to be a lot.
If we pay you enough, will you stop using Twitter?
Maybe? I'm very easy.
We know.
Thank
man.
you. Thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, Stephen Reeves, as well as Season 4, and Archive Our Own. Also, there's a lot of One Piece fanfiction on Archive Our Own I'm reading lately. Oh my god, I can't stop. Kaidawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236. Neobu, who says you can follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236. Lizmet, who is Lakeman on Tumblr. Nicholas, Emery from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter Archer What podcast. Magnus, Lucas, JCMon05. Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Digital Hazard, who is on Twitch at The Digital Hazard. Tropimon, Vmon, Tamer, Kasai, Flavin, Big Bad, Beetle, Borg, and Bent Archer. You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which we found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Erdgemon. And you can donate to me on my Coffee account, ko-fi.com/Erdra. And that's it for another podcast. Again, podcasts are kind of coming out whenever Digimon does. I've been doing the audio reading of Digimon Seekers, chapter to chapter. Have either of you been reading Digimon Seekers?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I'd be willing to do it, I guess, if we wanted to record a thing, but had forgotten that Digimon Seekers is a thing that exists.
Well, it's almost finished. It's finishing in April, so we could probably do it if,
now that I have time, we could do Digimon Survive sometime.
Yeah, I would still love to do a podcast on Digimon Survive, so... there's also Digimon Dreamers, which is also free and in English online on Digimon.net, same with Seekers. So there's a few things that we can cover that are out, but I guess we'll talk more about that offline.
Yeah, I'm open to doing a thing sometime, because I have time for a podcast again, because I'm not a student anymore,
And also, we'll get out of practice, and I really hope that this was a cohesive listen to, and it wasn't just me trying to talk about One Piece for over an hour. I'm so sorry.
It can be two things.
Yeah.
It can be two things. It can be me talking about One Piece, and then the rest is...
Look, if it's what the people want.
Okay.
It
Evangelion
is in the
to Chloe
zeitgeist.
as One Piece is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Also, one last thing about One Piece before I wrap this up, because of course I can't. So, you know how anime have, the sexy waifu figures?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One Piece...
Injured Ray.
Well, One Piece made them, but with the sexy man figures.
Well, that's good. Equal opportunity is
and
important.
they're all really sexy. Yeah. And they're in a chair, and they're very... I like men. Anyway,
we know, buddy. We know.
Yeah, I've never tried to hide that fact. But anyway, so thanks y'all for listening so much. I apologize about myself. I'll hopefully edit this into something that is enjoyable.
It resembles a podcast.
Look, technically it's a podcast. It will be on the podcast app. So
look, if Joe Rogan can do it,
anyone can.
It's a new tagline for us. LostinTranslationmon. It's a podcast.
You can't disprove that it is a podcast.
You can't say it's not a podcast. You can't say that I'm wrong. Anyway, so thanks so much for joining me, and of course, thank you so much for listening, y'all. We will see you on the next one, whenever that may be. Bye.
Bye.